What if, right? And just imagine this for a moment. There was a software or there was something that would allow you to build websites a lot faster, not have to worry about something breaking after you develop the website, not have to worry about different plugins that you might have to use to be able to build something that you design, and most importantly, handing it over to a client, or if you're a SaaS founder, being able to have a website that you can edit without even having to call a developer. So if you're interested in finding out what that is, I bet you already know, because that is Webflow. And in this video, I'm going to show you how you can start using Webflow, even if you're a total beginner or if you're an expert, to help you grow and increase the way you do your website and your web designing business. So if you're interested, stay tuned. What's going on, guys? My name is Leopoldo Perella, and if you're new to the channel, I make videos about web design, UX design, and the overall design process, as well as I share with you my journey as I build my web designing studio. And it has been over a year now since we moved mainly to only Webflow websites, and I think we have only been using WordPress lately to build more like product-oriented websites, like web apps and whatnot, but not really for any marketing or any larger website that we have to create. And to be honest with you, I think it has made a huge difference. One of the things that we were able to do was cut our 30 to 45 days website design process into even just less than a week. And the reason for this is because we're able to design websites that we know that we can develop 100% in-house without having to worry about hiring a next developer to help us create some features of the website or anything like that. Once a website design is completed and it has been approved by the client and by us, then we can go right ahead and develop these websites in just a few days. I'm not saying that you also have to, stop doing WordPress websites or Wix website or Squarespace website. I think you have to leave Squarespace websites, and move to Webflow only, because there are also a lot of clients who might be coming to you, or if you are a founder, you might find it more comfortable building a website with WordPress since you probably already worked on it. But if there's a lot of things that you want to improve in your business, you want to make things a lot easier for you, easier for your clients, easier for your marketing teams, then bringing everything together into Webflow will benefit you quite a lot. In this video, what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be showing you how you can get started with Webflow, whether you are a beginner or an intermediate or a full advanced web developer who wants to jump into Webflow to be able to build the websites, to be able to build prototypes, and to be able to get something that you design ready for the market. So the first thing I think we have to discuss is what really is Webflow, because a lot of people think about it as a drag and drop set of website builder, something like Elementor, excuse me, or something like Divi. But in reality, it is quite different, because Webflow is not really a drag and drop builder, even though you're able to sort of have those sort of actions on the website. But what I would say Webflow is an actual visual web development tool. And what this means is that we can take a white canvas or a blank canvas and be able to do anything we want with it without having to worry about a theme or a framework that something was built on. We are able to take all our designs and build them 100% over on Webflow without any plugins, without any third-party stuff, even though sometimes you might need something for like subscriptions and so on, or payments. But for most of the time, you're going to be able to use everything that's on Webflow to build your websites. Now, there's one thing here that I sometimes see designers and developers who are now jumping into Webflow do quite often, and it is that they seem to not know the structure of a HTML page or the way the CSS works, and even JavaScript. And the way I see it is that they seem to just drag and drop a lot of elements like divs, containers, and all this stuff without naming them properly, without putting them in the right order and all that. And for that, I'm going to be creating another video where I'm going to show you how to structure your pages properly, how to use your CSS properly, what different things mean, and how you can implement some JavaScript to take your website to the next level. If you're going to be getting started with Webflow and this is sort of like your first website or the first web page you want to create, one thing I will recommend though is to go ahead and look at some YouTube videos about HTML pages structure, the way they work. Where do you have to place your navigation, your different sections, what goes inside a section, what goes inside your main section of the page, what's a footer, and all these things, so that you can develop your websites with ease. And the more you understand HTML elements, you will be able to see how you can use all the different Webflow elements, which are normally located on the left side, to be able to customize them and build different features or different tabs or different things that you may want on your website that sometimes you can't seem to find them there. But if you edit them the right way, then you can do anything with it. So if you're looking to move into Webflow for the first time as a web designer or as a developer or even as a founder who is now going to be putting to get out there the first website for your SaaS company, you can start with something like a basic account, which is a completely free account that will allow you to be able to experiment a little bit with Webflow. And then if you find yourself in need of a little bit more power, or you're looking to create more projects, but you still don't need like unlimited amount of projects that you want to create, access to CMS and all these different things, then you can move up to the second account package, which I think is called the Lite package, which this one will allow you to go up to 10 projects. And then if you are really going to be working into Webflow and you want to store some templates that you're going to be using, let's say that you created before, but you're going to be using them quite often, then here's where you go for the Pro account. And the Pro account pretty much gives you unlimited projects that you can work on without having to worry about running out of space or anything like this. And that's the one that we are using because we have different folders, which I'm going to show you later on how to structure your dashboard so you can get the most productivity out of it. The other thing that is related to payments, though, will be whenever you want to host your website, because there are also different packages for that. Normally, if you do not have a CMS package where your clients won't have any CMS collections within your Webflow website, and if you're wondering what a CMS collection is, it is sort of like the same CMS that you might create for WordPress. Sort of like, your blogs are part of a CMS. If you create a portfolio, that will be part of a CMS. But in Webflow, it's really easy to just go ahead and put together a CMS for like your teams and different things that that your clients or yourself will be adding more often. So if you're interested in doing this and you need to choose a CMS package on your hosting account, and this one is a pretty simple one. It gives you access to be able to add up to, I think, 2,000 CMS items, which is pretty good. And then if you find yourself like you need a lot more power again, and you probably need more editors, and you're going to be needing a lot more CMS items because you are creating lots of content or your page is quite big, then you can move into the business hosting package, which is a really great package to have. That's sort of like the one I would recommend. And then from there, if you do find you need a lot more power than this, which most of the time I don't see a lot of people do, unless you're like a SaaS company that's actually bringing a lot of traffic to your website, and then I would recommend the enterprise package. But for this one, you have to contact them so they can set up everything for you. So once you have created your Webflow account, it can be a free account, it can be any account really, that you're going to be working with. One of the first things that I'll recommend you to do is to go ahead in your dashboard and sort of organize it. And the way I have mine organized here is that I have clients' websites. These are the websites that I have already worked on, and most likely I either transfer them to a client or we are hosting them for them. So I'll just put them in this folder. And then I have my free clonable folder where I'm actually creating templates that you guys can clone for different things. Like right now we have a StoryBrand clonable project here that you can clone easily. Actually, a lot of people have done that already. And it's sort of like a white and black framework that will allow you to edit your content and add the images and everything else that you need. And then we have whatever is in development. And in development, we are working on websites right now that we need to hand over to clients. So once we get started with a project, then that project goes inside that folder until it is completed. And once it's completed, we will either transfer it, and I will tell you more about that just now, or we will host it, as you can do all your billing and everything directly through Webflow without it being from your personal or your business bank account. And then we have what I will say is my favorite folder here, which is my JavaScript library and all the different templates that I have created to be able to start my website. This is things like stylescapes that is easy for me to just customize and get started with a website. And then I also have the FinSuite libraries, like the JavaScript different libraries that they have created, because I don't want to have to be searching for different things when I'm building a website. It is a lot easier for me to know, like, if I need a specific script for, like, let's say a search part of a website or something like that I am creating, it is really easy for me to just head over here, open the project on another tab, and be able to move around between one project to the next. Because in Webflow, you can actually copy whatever you created on one project. You can just create that section or copy that section and paste it in the project that you're working on. So let's say on one project you're working on, you have a section named with a class section, and then the project that you're working on is also has a class section, and you're going to copy this into the other one. What Webflow will do is just on this one will make it section 2, right? They will just replace your classes. So just make sure that once you copy and paste something, you go ahead and edit the classes so that they match what you already have. If you're going to be working on client projects, there are a couple of ways that you can use Webflow to do this. One is that you can build everything on your dashboard or on your Webflow account, like I'm showing you right here. As you can see, I have things in development. I have projects that I already finished, so I put them on my client's website. And once you're finished with the project, you can give your clients editor rights, and then it's very easy for you to for them to be able to log into the website and do all the edits they want. And the hosting, you can either pay for it or you can build your client directly. And then the other way to do this is that on Webflow, there's something called Teams, and they just did an amazing update on it, so more than one person can work on one project at the same time. And the way that this sort of looks, if we go back to my dashboard, you will see this arrow right here, and you will see I'm part of a few teams already. So I can't show you what's on the dashboard because it's not ours. But if I have to do a project in one of these companies, what I will do is I will go into here, and then I will choose which one I'm working on right now. So if I'm gonna be doing something for GI, what I will do is I will click on their dashboard, and I will be able to see all their projects. Now, one thing about this is that the company that you're working with or yourself, you are going to need to buy a Teams package so that you can allow more people to jump into a project. And then, of course, the other way around it is that you create an account for your clients and you work on that account while you're building your project. Normally, what I will do is that I will build everything in my Webflow account, and once I'm finished, I create the account for the client and just transfer the website to them. So if you were wondering what you can build with Webflow, pretty much anything. Anything that you can design, you can build it in Webflow. Later on, if you're just a beginner and you're getting started with Webflow, certain things might seem a bit more complicated than others. But as you get started and you probably learn more HTML, more CSS, and most importantly, learn some JavaScript, then you will open the doors to be able to build anything that you want on Webflow. And there are a lot of other things that you can do. You can integrate Zapier with Webflow, so that, let's say if you're using something like Airtable to be able to store data and all that sort of stuff, you can also do that simply with Zapier and Webflow. There are tons of integrations that are not plugins, so they do not break, so you don't have to worry about it. That will allow you to do quite a lot of things with Webflow. So now that I told you about this, and now that you have seen how easy it is to set up your Webflow account, what will you be building on Webflow first? Are you going to be building your portfolio website? Are you going to be moving your first SaaS website into Webflow? Let me know in the comments below. And if you found this video to be helpful, make sure to hit the subscribe button below and the bell button, because I'm going to be posting a whole series about how you can get started with Webflow as a total beginner all the way until you are an expert. So if you're interested in that, stay tuned.